Since the beginning of the 1998 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season, veterans like Hornaday and Sprague have ruled victory lane. But last week in Loudon, New Hampshire, it was a rookie rumble that stole the show. Get the photo finish.
Oh,
Biffle gets busted out of the way. Houston takes the low side. Andy Houston is going to wham a win here. Andy Houston
what a lap.
in New Hampshire. Oh, my. Today, the series moves to the Flemington half mile, where spins, bumps, and grinds showcase this short track shootout. So sit back and buckle up. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series invades your living room next. Motorsports joins with NASCAR in the celebration of NASCAR's 50th anniversary. And today our cameras and microphones have come to a racetrack that has hosted stock car events since 1916. TNN Motorsports is live at the Flemington Speedway in New Jersey. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series today runs the Stevens Beil Genuine Car Parts 200. Over the last number of years, the guardrails here, retaining walls made of styrofoam, have been decimated by these racing trucks. Just 1 year ago, our pole sitter, Terry Cook, took that ride after winning the pole just one lap earlier. Well, they have rebuilt the walls here at Flemington, but don't be surprised if after we move aside later today, they'll have to come out and rebuild these walls all over again. Hi, everybody. I'm Eli Gold. Welcome to the Flemington Speedway and TNN Motorsports live coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This is a most unusual racetrack. It is square in shape, though you drive it as though it were a circle, and you don't want to be particularly strong here. As a matter of fact, Buddy Baker, it seems as though the weaker the engine, the better you're going to run.
Exactly. You never hear a driver say, give me one with 710 horsepower here. You detune them so you get maximum grip up out of the corner. Getting around the racetrack here, a lot of times you run slower to run faster. We'll talk about that later.
Now, shortly after 11 o'clock this morning, the series point leader Jack Sprague was in a practice mode, found himself in the wall. They have elected to rebuild the truck. He qualified middle of the field, and Glenn Jarrett, he has a long way to go and a relatively short time to get there.
Oh, you're exactly right, Eli. As you can see from the camera shot there, the damage was mostly cosmetic sheet metal. Didn't hurt the truck too much. Jack thinks it'll be okay, but partner, you're buried deep in the middle of the field. You don't have much time to get to the front. Can you do it?
Well, I tell you, this isn't our favorite spot to qualify. This is probably the worst we've qualified all year. Having a bit of a rough day, but to be honest with you, I think the Team GMAC Chevrolet is awful good. It just takes us 4 or 5 laps to get rolling. We were pretty good in practice, so, hopefully we can get back toward the front. We ran here well the last couple of years, and hopefully we can win this thing.
Jack Sprague's hoping to celebrate his birthday today in Victory Lane. Let's go up to the front of the pack. Here's Matt Yoakum.
Glenn, well, Sprague has been the short track dominator in 1998. The 1998 short track stretch has proven very productive for Stacy Compton. 1 victory, 2 top 5s, and today he starts from the pole. Stacy, up front, what's it going to take to conquer this most unique track on tour today?
Well, that's a good question. I think being there at the end, tire conservation is going to be pretty important here. Track position is real important. We're in an awful good spot. I told the guys if we can get us a good starting spot, we get this Royal Crown up front, maybe we can stay there. We'd like to repeat Portland.
Well, good luck. Another big surprise in qualifying, Kevin Sawinski. His best career start. He'll roll off outside pole. He's just one of a host of guys searching for their first victory on the squared circle. Eli?
As a matter of fact, the starting 5 qualifiers, top 5, some rather unusual names. We'll talk all about it as we continue from the Flemington Speedway in New Jersey.
Go, 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 go! 30 laps to go. Go hard, bud. On the wall and turn 4 behind you. No crossing yet. Keep digging, keep digging, keep digging.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Stevens Beil Genuine Car Parts 200 is being brought to you by Mopar, Chrysler Corporation Parts, and the Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them. By 104 Plus Octane Boost, feel the power guaranteed. And by Ice House, ice brewed so there's never any watered down taste. Welcome back to the Flemington Speedway in New Jersey. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series set to go 200 laps, 125 miles. And to get this proceedings underway, today's Grand Marshal to give the command to fire the engines, Steve Beil, the president of Stevens Beil Auto Parts.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
And obviously Steve Beil joined by about 24 of his closest friends here as we are set to go racing on a beautiful 85-degree day here in Flemington, New Jersey. Let's check out the AutoZone preparation for the race, brought to you by the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. There you see 30 trucks starting. They had to send a handful home, buddy. It was a fairly spirited qualifying session this morning.
Well, it was, Eli, and everybody that really extended themselves didn't run quite as well as they thought they would, and the guys that didn't expect to have great qualifying times ended up in front.
And there is going to be not so much a live pit stop today, but there will be a competition caution halfway through the event. This racetrack, along with the track in Louisville, Kentucky, really not quite ready for a NASCAR pit stop on the fly, as we've seen in the last few races for the Craftsman Truck Series. So today, a competition caution at the halfway break. Now, the 104 plus octane boost starting lineup for today's event. Stacy Compton, second pole of the year. Kevin Sawinski, a great qualifying effort. Brian Ruffner, Terry Cook, and Curtis Markham starting fifth for Active Motorsports. And, buddy, as we see these qualifiers, again, it's not necessarily those with the most power under the hood. Some new names near the front.
Well, you know, the 700 horsepower power plants that most of these guys generally run, they've even talked about using restrictor plates to keep them from getting wheel spin up out of the corner. So you're liable to see somebody that hadn't won this year win this particular event because they are hooked up and handling well, not necessarily running fast down the straightaway.
There you see Mike Wallace, middle of the field. He likes to run well here, and he's got some interesting approaches to getting set. We'll talk about that. And there you see back towards 30th spot, the final provisional, Boris Said, who's doing double duty here this weekend, or not so much here, but tomorrow, as was the case yesterday. He was up at Watkins Glen. He's subbing for the ailing Jimmy Spencer in tomorrow's Bud at the Glen at Watkins Glen, New York. Sun-drenched day. We mentioned a number of drivers who failed to qualify for today's event. We'll talk about them in a moment. But first, let's take a look at who's going to give us a ride around the squared circle. And indeed, Brian Ruffner will be doing so from a good starting spot in third. Tony Raines starts sixth, as you see, in the Pennzoil entry. And every one of his wins this year has come on TNN Motorsports. Last year also. He says, maybe you guys are a good luck charm. Mike Bliss, Bob Keselowski will be giving us a lift around this racetrack. Tony Roper, who had a great run at Indianapolis Raceway Park a few weeks ago. And Boris Said in the Federated Auto Parts entry. Of course, next weekend, Federated Auto Parts sponsoring the Craftsman Truck Series race in Nashville, Tennessee, an event you'll be seeing here on TNN. There's the group that failed to qualify, and I think of the surprises there, certainly Lance Norrick and Randy Renfro, the two series regulars.
Well, Randy Renfro's been in contention to maybe win the past two truck races that he's entered, but did not make the field here today.
Now take a look at the storylines for today. Hey, where did everybody go? Well, a lot of the big names qualifying middle towards the rear of the field. They've got a lot of traffic to negotiate. We'll follow their progress. Home field advantage. Billy Pouch starts in 14th spot today. He is a regular on the local modified tour, one of the great champions at this part of New Jersey, and the Northeast knows, and he knows this track like the back of his hand. And of course, the point race. That's always a great battle. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series points will update you throughout the course of the day, but suffice to say it's a darn good battle with Jack Sprague starting middle of the field, holding Ron Hornaday at bay by 40 points right now. And then you see the spread back to Joe Ruttman, and Joe was one of those who also qualified middle of the field. He starts in 15th. One more time, buddy. You see this racetrack behind that graphic? It is a square racetrack, but you can clearly see where the groove is. That's why we say you run it like a circle, even though the track is truly square if you look from the air.
You really do. You apex into the corner kind of low, then diamond the corner out to the outside. You make a big circle here, so horsepower is not the ingredient that you need. It has to handle.
Boris says, let's get going. Tony Roper's ready. They're coming to the green flag. 200 laps, 125 miles on the 5/8 mile Flemington Speedway. There's the scramble behind the race leader. Sawinski in the 31. The man who really lost on that one is going to be Mike Bliss, who ends up losing 5 positions on the start.
Terry Cook in the 88 there is making a move right now, trying to go into 3rd place.
It's a good scramble there for 3rd spot on back behind the blue truck of Stacy Compton, who won earlier this year on the short track in Portland, Oregon. Sawinski in the 31. He runs for Bob and Shelley Brevac, the longtime ARCA family of competitors.
And just behind these 2 trucks, Curtis Markham in the 32 is doing a very good job in the early laps here.
Looking from Brian Refner back towards that 3rd place battle, which Cook will win now in the 88. 31 Sawinski grabs 4th spot ahead of Curtis Markham running in 5th.
And just behind Markham, if we drop back and see Hornaday making a move on the inside there, trying to get up towards the front.
Now the 32, Curtis Markham, he has never been here to race in an actual event. The folks who own the 32 truck from Active Motorsports are based up here in New Jersey. They run a late model stock car here at Flemington. And Markham came up here the other day and got into that late model stock car to try and get a few laps on the racetrack. But it's not going to help him hold off Ron Hornaday there as Hornaday grabs 5th.
You're exactly right. Ron Hornaday, one of the most direct drivers I've ever watched on a short track. Just makes things happen. You see Jimmy Hensley in the 43 there. That's the Richard Petty Dodge truck trying to move up right now.
They see Hensley in that red number 43. Kevin Harvick right behind him. That is 7th and 8th place. You can see, buddy, as we watch these trucks now, how a lot of them are leaning over, kind of listing to their left side. They've got themselves, obviously, I guess, sprung fairly soft.
Well, what they do, they raise the right side of the truck so they can really spring it very, very light to get a lot of downforce on the right tires to make it turn into these corners and put some pressure on the right side. So they actually drop the left side so they can get more spring movement on the right side.
Now, Jimmy Hensley there in that red truck. Remember, folks, he started 2nd here in 96. He started 2nd here a year ago. And Glenn, he's given Curtis Markham everything he can handle.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Eli, I think he may give everybody in the field something that they can't handle before this day's over. Jimmy grew up racing on racetracks like this. Southside Virginia, New Asheville Speedway in Asheville, North Carolina. Those kind of racetracks are just like this. This is how he cut his teeth. This is where his experience comes. We've got caution on the speedway.
Barry Bodine, Jack Sprague, the 24. 84 is Anderson. That is your point leader involved.
Look at Anderson. He put a lot of water down on the racetrack. He busted the radiator on impact there. A lot of fluids on the racetrack.
And let's see how significant the damage is to Jack Sprague. This is really going to shuffle, potentially, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series points. And if you're just joining us, we'll mention again, as we did on the opening of our telecast, that Sprague, the 24, was involved in an accident during practice this morning at about 10 minutes after 11. It's been a one-day show here. The trucks checked in this morning. They practiced, qualified, and raced today. He already had a lot of cosmetic damage, but now he goes a couple of laps down, and the damage could be even more significant. We'll update it when we come back. Stacy Compton is your leader in the early stages here in Flemington.
Need a faster truck?
Hey, this is yesterday's paper.
Now you have a chance to win a real Ron Hornaday NASCAR racing truck, a one-year lease on a 99 Chevy pickup, or a tool set during Napa Auto Parts Trucking and Tooling Sweepstakes and Sale. Come by today.
Tomorrow's paper.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Stevens Beil Genuine Car Parts 200 is being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running. Welcome back, everybody. That is the series point leader, still nestled up against that styrofoam retaining wall in turns 3 and 4. Jack Sprague's truck involved in an accident on lap number 10, along with Barry Bodine and Wayne Anderson's machine. Bodine has pulled away. He's still running. Anderson is fine. He has climbed from his truck. Let's take a look on board here with Bob Keselowski. Certainly nobody was behind Jack Sprague. Might be worthy of another view.
Jack tried to go down under there and made contact on the Keselowski truck and actually lost the back end, and along come Tolsma right into Jack Sprague.
Well, there comes Sprague, and again, there was clearly nobody behind Jack Sprague, so nobody made contact with him from the rear. As Buddy indicated, he just kind of spun around. Sprague is now coming in, as you see, to the attention of Dennis Conner and the crew. Let's go down to Glenn Jarrett.
Okay, guys, a lot of damage to the rear of the truck. We're hearing, we heard from the spotters the communication that they were having with Dennis Conner and Jack Sprague. Jack thinks that another truck got into him. He said he thought it was, we're not trying to put the finger on anybody, but he said he thought it was the 61 truck. The damage to the truck that they have assessed so far seems to be they think the rear track bar is broken and the thing was hung up in gear. That's why he could not move for so long a period of time. So while they're working on the back end of the truck, Jack told him, somebody get up under there and fix the transmission. They're going to lose a lot more time.
And they've already lost 4 laps. And let's look at it again here. Let's take a closer look. You see,
okay, that's,
well, he might have gotten him.
Tolsma.
That is Tolsma at the right front.
At the right
Indeed
front.
it was. Tolsma was at the right front of the truck and apparently came down on Jack, so that picture looks, because clearly there was nobody behind him. Keselowski was behind him, a good truck length and a half back. But indeed, the right front might have been the spot where if Tolsma touched him, then that's where it happened as you saw him going on by. So the work continues, and now they are 6 laps down. The 24 truck is. And obviously, this is a major, major opening in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series points for Ron Hornaday and for Joe Ruttman, both of whom could move up, and potentially Sprague could find himself as far back as 3rd in points when this day is over. While we have an opportunity, time now for our Dodge Innovation in Motion. Glenn Jarrett with a look at what makes up a short track truck.
Okay, thanks, Eli. You know, we're back on the short tracks this week. We've been on super speedways for several weeks now. We're going to have a run of short tracks, and boy, are these trucks different. Let's take a look at some of the things that a short track does, or some of the ways how a short track truck differs from a super speedway truck. Number one, what these guys do is they bring the lightest truck they possibly can. That's the weight distribution. The weight bias is very important on a short track. You try to have about 52% of the weight on the nose of the truck. Also, these short track trucks have no roof flaps. That saves a little weight. They use heavier duty brakes because they're on the brakes a lot harder on the short tracks than they ever are on super speedways. Different wheels. They don't run the interliner tire here, so they use a different wheel with only one valve stem opening. As far as the tires are concerned, short track tires are about an inch shorter, or a difference in circumference. However, they're about a ½ inch wider to get more grip. Also, these guys use smaller radiators. That helps save weight. They don't have to worry about cooling the engine at real high RPMs for extended periods of time. Body aerodynamics on the short tracks are not that important. Doesn't matter how slick the thing is. That's it. A softer setup on the springs, and also these guys experiment with small carburetors. Some of them have even tried using restrictor plates on this racetrack, Eli.
So that's what the story is beneath the short track truck from Glenn Jarrett on pit road. They'll be getting the 1 to go signal when they come back to the stripe, so do stick around. Back racing in a moment.
NASCAR team owner Ernie Irvin trusts his vehicles to a team of professionals.
You get the same professional service from the team at the Federated Car Care Centers.
We're professionally trained by Federated to keep your car in top condition.
Federated Car Care professionals install top quality name brand parts you can count on.
Professional technicians.
And top quality parts.
We're your team.
The Federated Car Care team.
Look for the Federated Car Care Center near you.
Getting set to go back to green in just a half lap. Stacy Compton is still the leader in that blue truck ahead of Brian Refner. Ron Hornaday, who is still running a solid fourth, also was involved in that tussle somehow, Matt Yoakum.
Eli, it hasn't been smooth sailing for Ron Hornaday. Coming up to that caution flag, he got a little close to the inside guardrail, tapped it, it knocked the left front fender in a little bit. Fred Graves, his crew chief, took a look at it under this caution, says, Ron, it's not that bad. We'll pull it out at the halftime break. Just get into your good conservative pace. Remember, we've got a halftime break. It's not green flag pit stops like the past 3 weeks, and we're back to green flag.
And remember, too, Jack Sprague still on pit road as you see Hornaday work himself around Cook while Compton's keeping Refner at bay, riding now with Brian Refner and looking from him back towards Terry Cook.
That was a good example of what Matt was just talking about. You can see the fourth place truck there of Hornaday almost hitting the inside wall again, getting in the corner. That means it's handling quite well, but he has to watch that. If he hits it hard enough, it'll knock the left front end on the tire, and he'll have to come in the pits.
That caution period of 7 laps in duration. They're still working on Sprague's truck on the pit lane as you ride now with second place. Refner, Terry Cook in the 88, Ron Hornaday in the 16, and Hornaday is going to try and cut that corner if he can.
Well, what he's doing, he's showing him on the outside line like he's going to make the move on the outside, and he's going to flank him over there and try to dive under him in just a second. Terry Cook's not going for the bait right now.
You see NASCAR timing and scoring presented by MCI across the top of the screen. Just underway here at the Flemington Speedway on the fairgrounds in Flemington, New Jersey. There you see back to that red truck, Jimmy Hensley. He's running in 6th. Just ahead of him is Kevin Sawinski. 16 there is Hornaday. 88 is Cook. Those front 6 trucks now are 2 full seconds ahead of that group there, led by Kevin Harvick. Meanwhile, on the outside, the 06 of Billy Pouch, you saw him caught on the outside, now works himself back in traffic ahead of the 50 there, and the 99. 50 is Biffle, 99 is Rutman.
Both those Jack Ross trucks caught up in traffic right now. They qualified quite badly, and you see right now they're hung up with the local hero here.
Billy Pouch, 121 wins here, 7 Flemington titles, riding now with Mike Bliss. And 8th, as we have caution in turn 4, that is Lonnie Rush Jr. Lonnie Rush has brought out the caution here at lap number 23, and boy, he has done damage to the back of that Ohio State University sponsored truck.
Dragging the tailgate right along with him there. That's a lot of damage there. Even though it does have the styrofoam on the outside of that corner, you can see a lot of damage to that truck. Watch when he hits the styrofoam here.
Sends the styrofoam flying, but still a lot of damage to the back of that truck. So caution on the speedway for the second time. Stacy Compton still leads.
The Hershey lady. Her and her son are from up in Pennsylvania, and they bring me and send me Hershey chocolates. I mean, religiously. All the Dover races and Pocono and everywhere, but they come in the mail in Christmas and everything else. So she's pretty relentless, and it's pretty exciting to have somebody involved that much with you. Really, there's so many. It's really, I'd like to say something about them all because they are so dedicated, and it does mean so much to have supportive fans, even when you're not doing good or when you're doing good. But the fans have been great.
Welcome back to Flemington. Here's a look at our Auto Week racing schedule. All the remaining events on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, including where TNN Motorsports and CBS Sports will be on hand to bring the action to you. For information like this and a whole lot more, call 1-800-232-1522 now for a 52-week subscription to Auto Week at the special TV price of just $19.95. Every week, Auto Week is the first with all the inside news of racing, personalities, driving impressions, everything. Call now for Auto Week at 1-800-232-1522. Don't delay. This offer is limited. Eli Gold, Buddy Baker, Glenn Jarrett, Matt Yoakum, and the race leader Stacy Compton leading him back to green here at the Flemington Speedway in New Jersey. Single file as you see. Everybody who's on the racetrack is on the lead lap. In the garage right now, Jack Sprague, Wayne Anderson, and Lonnie Rush involved in the accident moments ago.
See Stacy Compton there, the lead truck, as he goes down in the corner. You can watch the back of that truck really arcing out there. That's what I was talking about, maximum grip. You have to have it.
Glenn Jarrett, now Jack Sprague is 20 laps down, and we can see that they're still working on the truck. What's the situation?
Well, Eli, as I told you, he had a transmission problem. They cannot get that repaired or fixed right now. That's what they're working on. All the damage to the truck is pretty much completely repaired. They took the rear sway bar off. It was hanging down. The truck actually lost the left rear spring on impact. They've replaced that. Everything's ready to go except the transmission. You can't go without that, and it's not working.
Boy, this is going to be a costly, costly day for that racing team. They will certainly leave here, one would assume, without the points lead. Good scramble here. The 14, that's Ricky Crawford. And the 09, that is Canadian driver Randy McDonald. They're battling for 10th and 11th spot. McDonald reportedly having trouble keeping his truck in gear. They say it was jumping out of gear on him. What do you do then? Basically drive with one hand, buddy, and hang on to the gear shifter with the other?
That's all you can do, unless you do. Every once in a while they put a hook in there that you have on the back part near the seat there around the roll cage that you can go up and hook the actually hook it up to the shifter.
And there you see Ron Hornaday, buddy.
Ron Hornaday's made several tries to move up, and actually made some contact just a second ago to try to get by Terry Cook, and it finally, I guess, didn't work. He's still there.
We are 32 laps in, now 33 as the leaders cross the stripe and head back into turn one. 200 laps making up the total distance today for some $330,000 plus on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
As Hornaday and Cook have been battling, Jimmy Hensley's really moved in the 43 truck. You see him coming up through the pack right now, making a great run towards the front. Kevin Sawinski must be having a little bit of handling problems. He dropped from second place all the way back in the pack here now.
He's running sixth now as you see the field come by. There's the spread back to Harvick. That's 2 seconds back from Bliss in seventh to Harvick in eighth. And now back to the leaders, working turns 3 and 4. Glad you're with us here on TNN Motorsports. Meanwhile, Lonnie Rush's team still working on the Buckeyes Chevy truck. Let's get an update.
And working furiously they are, Eli. I tell you what, these guys have done an amazing job down here. You can see they're pop riveting the tailgate section back to the left rear fender section now. They're going to get him back out there. He hit so hard a while ago that part of the styrofoam barrier came up inside the truck. He drug a bunch of that stuff in here, so I picked it up, threw it out of the way for him. What a nice guy I am. I'm going to get out of their way.
Lonnie Rush, by the way, is an engineering school graduate of Ohio State University, as is the NHRA's, the drag racer Jim Head, and ARCA racer Josh Baltus. And Ohio State has a Center for Automotive Research that they're hoping to promote through the sponsorship of Rush's truck, Jim Head's car, and Josh Baltus's car.
Looking right now at the 99 truck there of Joe Ruttman, doing a great job of holding this bunch up right at the moment. They're really getting around very well. You're riding with Tony Raines in the 19 truck.
Tony Raines running in 11th right now. 12th place McDonald right behind him. Then Greg Biffle 13th. Rick Corelli in 14th. laps in. We've had 2 cautions, one at lap 10, one at lap 23. There goes Randy Tolsma in the 61 inside of Ron Barfield in the 35. They're battling for 16th and 17th.
I think Barfield's trying to take that spot away from him on the outside. That's doing it the hard way. And you see just behind him there, the 06 is coming right along with him on the outside. It does get 2 grooves here after they run a while.
In the 06 is Billy Pouch, the 7-time Flemington champion in the local modified series with 121 career wins here. And he makes the move in front of Tolsma. Let's see if the black 3 of Sauter can get back in line, and he will in 19th position.
Talking about Billy Pouch, he's an open wheel modified driver, spread dirt. They said he can run on any pavement. Pavement, dirt, or kitty litter. It don't make any difference. He can go.
And he was great here when this track was dirt up until the years when they finally paved it over. Still working on Jack Sprague's truck. If you're just tuning in, involved in an accident on lap 10. Jack has completed those 10 laps. He is now 33 laps down. They still work on the transmission on his machine. Glenn Jarrett with a further update.
Okay, I'll move to Wayne Anderson's truck now, guys, and major reconstruction down here. The radiator's laying off the front of the truck. The whole front end of the truck has been cut away, and I'm standing by with Wayne, the driver himself. What happened?
Well, I tell you, as we went down the back straightaway there, I started to see something happen up in front of me, and by the time I got to turn 3, it looked like Jack had lost it, and the spotter told me to go high. I turned right, and I thought he was going to stay there, and he moved back up, and it's a shame for both of us. We probably had pretty good trucks, and I had steadily making my way up through there, and doggone it, but didn't get in a wreck. It's a shame for Porter Cable Power Tools, myself, and this whole team, Liberty Racing. We've been running good here lately, and we're just hoping for a good afternoon.
Well, I'll tell you what, Eli, they need one. They have been bitten by the bad luck bug all year long.
They really have. The Anderson team is a solid team, but you're right, they've had absolutely no racing luck. Good battle there. 52 Mike Wallace, 35 Barfield. They continue to scramble now for position 15th and 16th.
Just looking at Biffle as he goes along there in the 50 truck, doing a great job in heavy traffic right now, trying to get a preferred line so he can make up some distance here on the lead. If he is indeed driving that 09 Randy McDonald truck there with one hand, that has to be awfully hard on him. But it don't seem to hurt his performance.
09 outside.
You hear the spotter saying the 09 is to your outside, and Matt Yoakum is on the pit lane.
Eli, the 19 truck, is desperately trying to hold on to his position. Tony Raines reports in his truck is too tight in the center. He says at the halftime break, let's try to free it up a little bit in the throttle linkage area. Right now, though, he's just trying to hold on to position.
How about the 06 right there? Billy Pouch keeps on trucking in the Dick Greenfield sponsored entry. Track is still clear. We stay under green. But not without a big-time scary moment for Pouch, who backslides to 22nd, gets in just behind, or just ahead of Boris Said, with whom we are riding right now. If you're a Lonnie Rush fan, he's back on the racetrack, 26 laps down. As you're on TNN Motorsports, we're back in a moment. TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Stevens Beil Genuine Car Parts 200 is being brought to you by the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by the new Dodge. It's about change. Welcome back to the Flemington Speedway. The leader is Stacy Compton, but the 06, or the 6 right there of Rick Corelli, he had himself a scary moment moments ago. Take a look at what happened to him off the corner. Going wide.
There's Corelli right there. Going. That is not Corelli.
That is the 06, as we said
06.
Initially. That was Billy Pouch. We had said that a short while ago. There you see him to the outside. That's Randy McDonald going around range there. Now as they come off the corner, here is the other incident. This is the one that involved Rick Corelli right there. So 2 separate incidents. You had the 06 of Billy Pouch and then the 6 of Corelli in 2 separate incidents that took place over the last few moments. We are at Flemington Speedway in New Jersey. 60 laps are on the board of 200. Nobody has touched Stacy Compton. He has led since the get-go, and now he's beginning to put some laps on Curtis Markham, the 27th place runner there in the 32 truck.
Stacy Compton, 86, the blue truck there, just weaving his way through a lot of lap traffic right now, doing it quite well. But just behind him there, Brian Refner is doing a good job in the 66 also, and right with him, Terry Cook.
So they're all going to deal with race traffic now, and Glenn Jarrett, I know Jack Sprague wishes he was dealing with race traffic. He's about 60 laps down now.
Absolutely, Eli. Jack just looked over at me with a really grim look on his face, shook his head like, what can I do? He's sitting here. They have given up the ghost on that transmission. They're going to have to put another one in it. I have to believe it was damaged when that rear sway bar broke loose. It allowed the rear end housing to float, and when that impact came, it had to jam the drive shaft up into the transmission. They have not been able to get it to change gears since then, so they're just going to put a new one in it. He's going to be for at least another 15-20 laps.
On his 34th birthday, Jack Sprague not getting a very good gift. You see, he's already dropped to 3rd place in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series points. He'll not drop any further than that because Tony Raines was 238 points back, and you can't drop that much in a single event back in a 4th position. But he has already dropped to 3rd, heading on to Nashville next week, and then the road course in Topeka, Kansas in 2 weeks' time, all right here on TNN. 37, Scott Walters going a lap down in that in the 26th position now.
Eli, as these front trucks are working their way through traffic right now, another truck has really moved in here. The 2 of Mike Bliss. He's just behind Hornaday. He is really making some inroads right now, catching the lead pack as they go through there. And with him, you see Joe Ruttman, a master of the short track.
We're riding with Bliss now, just a second and a half behind the race leader. There you see the Auto Vent Shade field standings update across the top of the screen. Auto Vent Shade, the original vent visor, the most practical accessory for your truck, giving you that scoring rundown.
Eli, the sun is right in the front windshield of these trucks, and right on the left front corner there, you can see on the 99 of Joe Ruttman, he has about half the windshield taped so he can get good vision down through there. They sit very low in these trucks, by the way.
There goes Joe Ruttman now, looking inside of Bliss for 5th. Ruttman said when he first came here, he said, I've been to about 225 different tracks in my life, he said. I've never experienced anything like Flemington.
Ruttman's right there. I'm talking about inches away. He and Mike Bliss are knifing through very heavy traffic at the moment. I tell you what, if they weren't good friends, I know Joe Ruttman was up to the door there. That's usually a position for him. He would have nudged him, but Mike Bliss plays a straight game, and so does Joe.
70 laps complete. 2 cautions, one at lap 10. An accident involving Barry Bodine, who has continued on the racetrack. Wayne Anderson and Jack Sprague, who have not continued. Then Lonnie Rush spun at lap number 23 and caught the wall. He is back on the racetrack now, running some 26 laps down.
The 16 of Ron Hornaday there, running the very, very low line, inviting these trucks to try to pass me on the outside. Maybe they'll get their tires hot and he can drive back away from them. Right now, they're putting all the heat he can stand. You can see the back of the truck losing traction on Hornaday there. They'll get by him in just a second if he don't get something going better than that.
Well, let's see if Ruttman can make that outside work. At the start-finish line.
The 2 and the 99 both racing real hard behind you.
That's Ron Hornaday's radio.
At 30 laps, still halfway. Looking outside. Outside.
Outside. Hard to do.
Now remember, Ruttman started on the pole here back in 1995 and finished 7th. He finished 2nd here a year ago. So we shouldn't be surprised. Ruttman's running this well.
Well, the points are a big issue right now with Jack Sprague having trouble in the 99 there. Ruttman only 57 points back. He's going to close in on the leader, and he and Hornaday are having a big battle right now.
That is for 4th on the racetrack. Ruttman in the 99. I'll tell you, that's awfully powerful, just using it outside to make it work as Mike Bliss looks on and gives us the hitchhike around the half mile.
Now you see Ruttman's already pulled about a 2 truck length lead on Hornaday there. Hornaday's truck is very, very loose, it looks like.
Loose end too, man.
talking about front tires chattering.
And he said the right rear is burned off already. So what he's doing is just trying to make it here until they make their pit stops, because once you light that right rear up like that and get it so hot that it don't hold well, then you're just skating out there instead of getting traction.
Outside.
Hornaday won here in 95. And Matt, he won here again last year, so he's taken 2 of the 3 races thus far.
He sure has, Eli, but he didn't bring back the truck, Melissa, that he won with here last year. This is a brand spanking new truck. They brought it out. They've struggled with it all weekend. They basically changed the entire setup. Ron told me if it wasn't welded on, we changed it before qualifying. The truck then was a little loose in qualifying. They took some air pressure adjustment changes to the tires. He says now the truck seems to be coming in. It's the best it's run all weekend, but right now it's a tick tight. As you and Buddy Baker were talking about, Fred Graves tells him, look, let's just ride it out to the halftime break. If someone comes up and you think they're going to be too much of a challenge, let them go by. Think about the points.
That truck is named Peggy. It's the first time they have ever named a truck in Dale Earnhardt Incorporated's history before it's gone on to victory lane, or at least before it's been a regular on the circuit. And look at that. Mike Bliss went wide open the inside.
Well, Jimmy Hensley just went right by Mike Bliss as he went to the outside. Right now, it's a game of tires. These guys that abuse their tires at the first part of the race are dropping back.
80 laps complete. 20 to the competition yellow near halfway. Lots of racing to go, and the king is looking on here at Flemington. There is Stacy Compton by 2 6/10 seconds. He has the lead. He has led from the start. He's been on the Bud pole. He has not looked back since, but he'd better start looking back, because the guy now in second place is Joe Ruttman, the Exide truck, and he's on a mission.
Eli, he's using the outside groove right now and is working very well. He just went by Brian Ruffner and moved right on into second place. Now he is the fastest truck out there, and we're getting very close to a competition yellow.
Right, this is a racetrack again, along with the Louisville Speedway in Kentucky, that really is not in a position yet to hold full-speed pit stops. There was some discussion about constructing a pit road here, but it wasn't really able to be done, and one only has to guess whether there will be pit stops here in the future, but that's down the road certainly. But today there will be a competition caution where they will cease the scoring. You'll come in, make your pit stops, retain your position, and go back out onto the racetrack as there's problems. Andy Houston is in the wall in turn 3. A week ago, a hero. You're listening to Houston's radio. Rick Wren, the crew chief.
A lot of rear damage, a lot of rear damage.
The spotter lets them know what probably they already knew. And from victory lane in New Hampshire into the wall at Flemington, Andy Houston.
Get caught up, Andy. Andy, come on. Left side's okay. Left side's all right.
Lots of damage. You see him trailing some of that styrofoam from the retaining wall. Let's see what happened here, buddy.
The right side looked like.
Looks like he and Ron Barfield may have made a little bit of contact. You see him hard into the outside there. Without that styrofoam, I would say the back of that truck would be even with the back glass.
Andy Houston's truck there has not been a good luck truck. That's the one he ripped up at Indianapolis Raceway Park a week ago. And they've ripped it up again here on TNN today.
Mack trucks are furnished by Clement Chevy Mack Sales. For all your truck and tractor needs, call Clement at 1-800-369-MACK. Visit, experience, shop Simpson World, a racer and race fan superstore now open in Mooresville, North Carolina, Indianapolis, Indiana, Torrance, California, and Hershey, Pennsylvania. Race fans, you make the call. New LCI long-distance customers receive 30 minutes of free calling and a calling card featuring participating drivers. Don't delay. Call now, 1-888-TEAM-LCI.
The field is getting the 1-to-go signal, but that man, Ron Barfield, has gotten even worse news from NASCAR. The door to the penalty box has just swung open for the Ortho truck. After reviewing videotape, the indication is that, as we kind of saw it, buddy, Andy Houston's spin was brought about by a shot in the caboose by Barfield's machine, and he is coming down the pit lane for a penalty to be assessed by NASCAR. No indication as of yet as to how long he will be staying there, but he is being held.
That's the NASCAR official right there in the pits. That's the longest time in racing when you're sitting there. Now it can go. It looked like about a 15-second penalty. It's the back of the lead lap right now.
And again, here's what happened with Andy Houston. Kind of helped out of the way by Ron Barfield. I'll tell you something, even though there's damage to that truck, buddy, that styrofoam stuff really helps.
Oh, it does that, because that's mostly cosmetic damage. As you can see, the truck is going to try to make it probably to the halfway time where they have the competition yellow.
And we are going back to green right now. And we are, as you see, just 4 laps away from halfway on the competition yellow, which will come out at lap 101. If you're a Jack Sprague fan, he is back on the track with a new transmission, 83 laps down. So Sprague is back. Lonnie Rush has returned. So only Wayne Anderson officially out of the race today. Stacy Compton leads. Right behind him is Butch Miller. Butch is a lap down in 21st position. Then the third truck in your picture, the 99, Joe Ruttman. He is running second on the leaderboard. Brian Refner in the 66 runs third. Then a super run for the 88 of Terry Cook. He's hanging right there in fourth. He is that. He's hanging very, very tough. You see, Boris said they're getting very loose as he went into the middle part of turn 1 there, but he got his truck back. You're riding with Boris right now as he got the thing straight as he was getting off the corner there. Very sideways. Riding with Boris Said again, who will be in the Bud at the Glen tomorrow, subbing for the ailing Jimmy Spencer. Jimmy Hensley, sitting there in the 43 truck, is running a very, very clean line right now. As he comes up on Terry Cook in the 88, you can see him moving to the outside, coming down the front straightaway, going by lap traffic right there on the high side of the racetrack. That's Boris Said in the 44 they're going by. Now here they come to halfway. The Gatorade Front Runner Award normally goes to the race leader at halfway. But as Compton leads them at halfway, he does not participate in the Gatorade Front Runner Award program. So the $2,000 goes to the first driver across the stripe who does participate, and that is Joe Ruttman. So Joe Ruttman wins the halfway Gatorade Front Runner money, though the caution is out here for the competition yellow, and Stacy Compton continues as the race leader here at the Flemington Speedway. Problems there as spinning in the middle of the field, 31 is Sawinski, as everybody kind of got woed down and caught up in traffic coming to the caution. This is a competition caution, again, because this racetrack not quite ready for full high-speed pit stops, as we have seen at Pikes Peak and at Indianapolis and New Hampshire, the previous 3 races on the Craftsman Truck Series. So NASCAR decided to revert to the competition cautions, and everybody will cease their scoring, but they'll have to make a pit stop and get right back out, though retaining your position. And let's see what happens here coming to the caution. Oh, Tolsma went wide, but it was Sawinski in the 31. Another truck spins to the inside. You can just imagine these guys that run into the smoke like that, they can't see one thing, so they lock their brakes up, just hoping there's nothing in that cloud of smoke when they get there. Looked like Mike Wallace had a flat left rear tire in the 52 truck as he went through there as well.
Take the rubber out of the right front if you want.
Riding with Tony Raines here. You see Mike Wallace right there to your left, and he does begin to go around. So he reports a left rear that is flat. Here's Bob Keselowski's view. Is this just instinctive? Oh, there goes Greg Biffle spinning to the left also of Keselowski. There you can see what I was talking about. Totally blind when you go through these wrecks. You just hope there's nothing in the smoke when you drive through there. So the competition caution is out, and the race leader, Stacy Compton, is in front of Glenn Jarrett.
Yeah, Eli, you know, they've only been worried about one thing this whole time. Stacy has reported a little vibration in the truck. At first, he thought it came from the rear end. They were going to jack the truck up and check the rear end housing, also check the transmission to see if maybe the transmission, where it bolts up to the frame, is got a problem there. They don't really know what it is. Crew Chief Kevin Graham says it's more like a rattle than a vibration. They're not making any changes on the truck. They're just going to change tires and put fuel in the truck. So they're happy with things right now. A little bit perplexed about that vibration. Meanwhile, Joe Ruttman, who has moved up to second, his crew chief told me they're going to make a very slight track bar adjustment. Joe likes the truck just the way it is right now, so he'll get 4 tires of fuel and that slight adjustment. And tell you what, he's got that thing really hooked up on the outside. What do you got, Matt?
Well, Glenn, Brian Repner came into pit road in the 3rd position. He was complaining his truck was real tight at the end of that run. So they made a track bar adjustment, went down 2 rounds, and also talking about this 66 truck, he is on par for his best career finish. He hopes the adjustments they made will put him back up towards the front. Also talking about the 16 truck of Ron Hornaday. We told you earlier he was complaining his cut would not cut. They've made some adjustments, a half a pound out of the right front. Glenn Jarrett?
Okay, they have Stacy Compton's truck jacked up right now. Kevin Cram, the crew chief, was up under the truck. They don't seem to have found anything right now. I haven't seen them do anything other than just look a little and scratch their heads. But the truck is still jacked up. I can't tell if they found anything at all yet wrong with it. I tell you what, we'll keep a watch on it and let you know, guys.
I think the vibration was the sound of the air as he was lapping by everybody. That's really about it.
They look pretty concerned to me.
They do look concerned, but you're right. Compton has led every lap thus far. We're back with more. Don't forget, you can experience country.com. It is your personal source for all things country. From race cars to country stars, connect to country.com. You also have an update from Buddy Baker, his racing report every week right there on TNN's home on the World Wide Web, country.com. The field has got the 1-to-go signal. We are going to be going back to green next time by. Stacy Compton is the race leader. Joe Ruttman second. Brian Repner runs in third. Sari Cook is fourth. Jimmy Hensley fifth. Restarting in sixth will be Mike Bliss. Ron Hornaday seventh. Super run for Canadian Randy McDonald. He's running eighth. Kevin Harvick is ninth. And Jay Sauter is 10th. Glenn Jarrett.
Okay, thanks, Eli. You know, these guys in the 86 pit have found what they think caused that vibration. You see this belt? This is the spare belt that holds the drive shaft up. It was hitting the drive shaft. They think that's the vibration. However, we just got word on the radio that Stacy has radioed in and says the truck will not stay in first gear. Here's Matt.
Well, Glenn, a driver change during that halftime break. Billy Pouch climbed out of the 06 Dodge. Billy, what was the problem?
Well, it's basically being out of shape. I've been down for 2 months with a broken knee, and I thought I was up to Flemington, but let me tell you, Flemington's pretty tough, and I ain't up to it today. So, I radioed into them guys, loosen the truck up. It was too tight, and get Johnny Blewett in there. I think he can get the job done for it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you got to have somebody climb in a truck at Flemington in relief, you could get no one better than John Blewett III.
There is the 06. John Blewett himself, a 2-time Flemington track champion. But, yeah, that injury at Williams Grove took out Billy Pouch for the longest while now. And as he said, just not quite up to the rigors of this day. There you see the running order. We gave you the top 10 moments ago. The only retiree of the day, Wayne Anderson. And they see the entire 30-truck field as we get set to go. We are still in lap 101. Remember, there was no caution, or actually no laps really being run under this competition caution. So we are set to go back to green right now. And let's see whether Stacy Compton can keep that truck out in front. Slow and accelerating. Oh, and here comes 3 wide up front. Boris Said tries to make the move inside of Butch Miller and maybe get himself back on the lead lap inside of Compton.
Boy, I mean, Boris Said got very, very loose in the middle part of the corner. You see Miller there in the 18 truck fighting on the outside. These are 2 trucks that are a lap down trying to get their lap back. Just behind them, Joe Ruttman.
Good scramble here on the start of the second half of the event. Ruttman just settles in the 99. Stacy Compton, of course, the race leader. There's Butch Miller in the 18. Butch showing in 22nd spot right now.
Joe Ruttman Rutman in the 99 truck there on the inside of Miller. You can see right now he would like nothing better than get by these two lap trucks and get himself up there chasing Compton. I don't know what the vibration is in that truck. Maybe it's gone now, but it has to be a concern for the 86 truck because they worked very hard on it at halftime.
Glenn, did they have trouble coming up to speed because of a tranny problem or what?
Yeah, as I reported, Eli, the truck would not stay in first gear, so Stacy had to take off. Even though the pace car runs at only 25 miles an hour, he had to take off in second gear. That gave those guys time just a little bit to jump him, but he seems to be okay now. We haven't heard anything more about the vibration, so maybe that spare drive shaft belt was the problem.
Could well be. There you see the 99 Rutman. He's running in second, trying to get around Boris Shed, who's in 21st position.
Now, Rutman
Joe's
right
clear now.
Yeah, he's out there in clean air right now, and he starts running the racetrack instead of trying to get by lap trucks and things. What he can do, once he gets dialed in here, we're going to find out who has the best truck now, because Joe Rutman is so very good on slick, flat racetracks.
Here you see the field coming towards you now as we just are underway in the second portion of the event, lap 107 of 200. There is Stacy Compton, the race leader. He has 7/10 of a second on Joe Rutman in second spot. And there you see the Napa rundown across the top of the screen. At Napa, we keep America running. Brian Refner is in third. Refner is a full second behind Joe Rutman right now in the 66 truck. There he is. Right behind him, the 88, that's Terry Cook. He's running in fourth. All of these trucks are on the lead lap.
What a great drive by Terry Cook in the 88 there. You see right now, he's looking Refner over on the inside as they head down towards the back straightaway. If you can call it that, it's a donut, folks. I'm telling you, you stay in the turn all the way around. But Cook doing a very good job.
Right behind now, the red truck, Jimmy Hensley, and the 16 Hornaday. They are battling for position. That's 5th and 6th. The 44, Boris Shed, he is a lap down in 21st position. The 18 on the outside, the Dana Dodge for Butch Miller. He's in 22nd, a lap down. So the next truck on the running order is that blue and white number 75. The Spears Manufacturing entry for Kevin Harvick. He is running in 7th spot. There he is. Harvick, who also leads the NASCAR Winston West Series in their point standings. Behind Harvick, you've got the 2 of Mike Bliss just pivoting into the picture right there. He is running in the 8th spot. Then the 9th position is Jay Sauter, and 10th is Mike Wallace.
Eli, Brian Refner and Terry Cook have run Joe Rutman back down. They pulled in with about a 7 or 8 truck length differential between them right now. I think they have the fastest truck. If they stay out of the lap traffic, they can catch the second place truck.
We've had 4 cautions today. Only one truck out of the race. That is Wayne Anderson. Stacy Compton has led every lap thus far here at Flemington. TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Stevens Beil Genuine Car Parts 200 is being brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. At Napa, we keep America running. Welcome back to the Flemington Speedway. Under caution, the field will be getting the 1 to go this time by. It was an innocent spin by Greg Biffle. We'll tell you more in a moment, but don't forget next Saturday, 5 o'clock Eastern, this very time, next Saturday, we'll be on the air live from Nashville Speedway, USA. Bob Harmon's great racetrack there. The Federated Auto Parts 250, 5 o'clock Eastern, next Saturday, right here on TNN Motorsports. That is the truck that spun. Greg Biffle, who is second in the Cintas Rookie of the Year points.
All the way to the front.
See him on the outside of Rick Crawford there. The back end just starts around. He gets into the outside barrier there. Keeps her locked down. Hardly any damage whatsoever.
Take another look right now. He went wide of Crawford, who never touched him, and just lost traction.
He just glides along the outside barrier there. Does not make any hard contact at all.
Now that truck is running in 19th, Biffle is. The Cintas Rookie of the Year point leader, Andy Houston,
Watch out, outside,
who is just ahead of him in the 60, a truck that's all beaten and battered. He is in 26th. So both rookies of import have had problems here today. Now let's see what happens here again. Remember, with no first gear for Compton, but he does get up to speed this time. And again pulls away from Joe Ruttman on the restart. The 44 truck. That is Boris said, still a lap down in 21st. And finally falls back into traffic.
There's Ron Hornaday underneath Terry Cook as they come up on lap traffic there. Tries to move him over to get by Butch Miller, trying to make it 3 wide there, but Hornaday could not move him out of the way.
And that is for position.
Yeah, Terry Cook's doing a great job in the 88 truck.
And he really used Butch Miller very well to help keep Ron Hornaday and Jimmy Hensley in the red truck at bay. The 88 Cook is in 4th. Hornaday in the 16 is in 5th. Right behind the 43 truck Hensley running in 6th. We're 123 laps in. 200 makes the distance. Up front there you see Joe Ruttman now in the 99. Glenn, he's closing in on Compton, only 0.4 of a second back.
Yeah, Eli, you know, right before that caution, his crew had radioed and told Joe he used his tires. They're pretty much working that lap traffic, and they told him to take it easy for a little while. So Joe backed out and started closing the gap on Compton. So many times we see that here. You run what you think's easier and you go faster. Also, let's update Stacy Compton's vibration. During that caution, he radioed in and said that the vibration was still there. It felt a little differently. Remember, he lost first gear. I got to believe that that vibration is coming from some kind of problem in the transmission. Let's hope it doesn't get him in the end.
And he has some laps to go yet. 75 laps remaining.
Glenn, you're exactly right. When they start vibrating like that and it starts jumping out of low gear, there might be a few metal particles starting to move around in there. Just hopefully it'll hold off, because Stacy's run a great race today.
Really has. Very solid race. There you see Hensley going around Boris said. Up front, though, it's still tight. As you see MCI giving you NASCAR timing and scoring. Compton, Ruttman, and now Brian Reffner has broken free into a solid 3rd. There he is in the 66 truck. Of course, this is like the tracks he used to run up in Wisconsin and on the ASA series. And let's not forget Bliss and Sauter. Bliss in the 2, Sauter in the 3. That's 9th and 10th place.
And Randy McDonald and the 09, they're all running very, very hard. As you can see back in the pack here, they're running 2x2 down through here. Mike Bliss there in the 2 on the outside of Jay Sauter. All these guys are very good on these types of racetracks, flat surface.
The only guy who's really made the outside work today, though, was Joe Ruttman, basically. Let's see what Bliss can do if he can keep pace here with the 3 and the 09. He can't keep pace with Sauter, but manages to get in line ahead of Randy McDonald in the 09. So Bliss is back in 10th with Sauter grabbing 9th now. Single file basically all the way around, still riding with that 9th and 10th place battle, middle of your screen. They'll go around the 7 of Barry Bodine. Riding with Mike Bliss, looking forwards and rearward now towards Randy McDonald.
As he goes down the back straightaway into turn 3 there, right against the white line on the bottom side. Kind of goes out wide and then right back to the bottom to come off the corner and down the front straightaway. That's the starting flag right there.
About 3 or 4 trucks further back, you see that green and yellow machine of Ron Barfield. There he is, the 35 truck, working with Roper. That's a scramble for 13th position. Let's see if Barfield can hang on to the inside against Roper, with whom we're riding.
You can see him sawing that wheel, trying to keep maximum grip as he comes up out of the corner right there.
Notice, too, you never straighten the wheel out here.
He's turning left all the way around this racetrack, and then just using the right hand more for just making sure that he doesn't lose grip to the side.
The 06, John Blewett, having taken over from Billy Pouch. And again riding here with the 15th place runner, Tony Roper. And that's what Mike Bliss is seeing out his rear view mirror. You got Jack Sprague on the right of your screen, who is 83 laps down and 29th spot after transmission problems following a lap 10 accident. Up front, it's a half second. They've not forgotten about Compton and Ruttman, but it's not really changed any. And now what has changed is this battle for third. Behind the front two, look at here. Brian Refner in the 66 and Terry Cook in the 88.
Terry Cook looking to the outside. You said the only truck that you had watched that made any moves on the outside was the 99 of Joe Ruttman. Right now, Terry Cook in the 88 truck, as you look back at him, trying to make that outside groove work.
Terry Cook, the native of Sandusky, Ohio, trying to make a move. But it's the man from Virginia, Stacy Compton, who has led every lap.
Federlight, the official trailer of NASCAR, IndyCar, World of Outlaws, IRL, and a major sponsor of NHRA. Remember to call Federlight for all your trailer needs at 800-800-1230. Radio communications are provided by Racing Radios. For all your racing communications needs as well as scanners, call on Racing Radios at 1-800-669-1522. And by LA West Luxury Vans. LA West vans are available at select Ford dealerships nationwide. Call us at 800-786-VANS.
We've got a great battle for the lead here at the Flemington Speedway in New Jersey, live here on TNN Motorsports. Glad you're with us. Stacy Compton, Joe Ruttman, Terry Cook. First, second, and third, basically nose to tailgate. And then here come Refner and Hornaday. So the first five now, buddy, are all tied together.
Absolutely. And Terry Cook in third position there has been up beside Ruttman twice in traffic there. He's driving his heart out right now. What a career run for him. I think, as you said, he's really not had any great finishes here, but it's not desire that kept him out of there because he drives every lap like it's the last.
Jack Sprague's day is done. He can't pick up any more positions by virtue of where he's running and how many laps have been completed by the guy ahead of him in the standings. So Jack has just taken his truck to the garage area. He'll finish in 29th today, and that's your numbers right now on the screen. He'll drop well down out of the point lead. But watch this scramble here for second spot.
Terry Cook on the outside pulls even with Joe Ruttman as they come down toward the front straightaway. What a great drive he's doing today.
Matt Yoakum, clearly the best run of his career.
No doubt about it, Eli. I talked to Gary Showalter's crew chief before the halftime break. He said that Terry was reporting the truck was tight in the center and very loose off. They made some air pressure adjustments and a wedge adjustment during the halftime break. They seem to hit upon the right combination, and he is definitely moving to the front on pace for his best career finish.
A lot of racing yet to go. Watch that scramble as Refner will get around Joe Ruttman, and Hornaday might be able to do the same on the left of your screen.
No question about it. Joe Ruttman's having a handling problem right now because he is dropping back, and normally he's on the move towards the front.
Give it to Hornaday.
Back inside.
Got him on the outside. Hornaday is fourth. Ruttman now goes from second to fifth in the space of 2 laps around the Flemington Speedway. And you can almost as clearly right there with the naked eye see the back of that truck kind of trying to come around on him.
Eli, a lot of times, you know, just before the halftime break there, the 16 truck was having a problem pushing, but actually burned the right rear off at the same time. What happens is it won't turn, and when you do get back in, it throws the back end out, and you can burn the right rear off, so you can have double problems by having a truck that pushes a lot in the center of the corner.
Meanwhile, our point leader will finish the day in third in points and 29th on the leaderboard, Glenn. Not a happy birthday for Jack Sprague.
No, Eli, like you said, he couldn't gain any more positions. And Jack, you lose the points lead and drop to third. Not a very happy birthday.
No, it really wasn't. The Team GMAC Chevrolet was pretty good like I predicted, but I got underneath the 61 going on the backstretch, and he just turned hard left. That's not the first time. Either he doesn't have a spotter or he just drives that way. I'm not sure what it is, but I guess next time I just got to be ready for it and maybe spin him out instead of myself getting spun out. But, you know, the spin didn't hurt it. You know, the 84 truck come in there with nowhere to go and hit me, and that hurt it. It messed the transmission up, messed the rear end up. There ain't a whole lot of sense staying out there and taking a chance of tearing it up anymore when we've gained all we can gain. So
we'll just go to Nashville and see if we get it back.
Okay, buddy, we'll see you there. Better luck there.
Jack Sprague along with TNN heading to Nashville next Saturday. Look at this for the lead. They have to wait because Kevin Sawinski's 31 is right there. But the 88 of Terry Cook smells what could be his first career victory in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series with just 43 laps to settle it against Stacy Compton in the 86, who is going for his second win of the season.
Eli, very fragile lead right there. As you can see, Terry Cook look to the inside, thinking about making that move on the inside. Never winning. I tell you what, it'll make a brave man out of him. He's going to try him.
Cook finished 12th last year at Milwaukee, his career best. This year he finished 10th at Texas, his new career best.
Now you see Stacy Compton get a little bit sideways in the center part of the front straightaway there. Terry Cook is all over him right now. I just wonder how much tire Terry Cook used to get to this spot, because I think Compton is running a very, very regimented race right now.
But this is Terry Cook's kind of racetrack. He won his track championships when he was a late model driver. He won the track championship at the short track at Flat Rock, Michigan, in Toledo, Ohio, at Sandusky, Ohio. And though they're not necessarily Flemington copy tracks, it's enough of a short track that this man likes this kind of environment. Here comes now third place up for scrambles, and it's Hornaday who'll make the inside move in front of Ruffner to grab third spot. The action all of a sudden turning up an extra notch or two. We're nearing the finish in Flemington. We're back with more on TNN Motorsports in a moment. You're not going to believe what just happened here in Flemington. Caution is out. The leader is in the wall. Terry Cook is the new race leader, as Compton right there and Cook were going side by side for the lead. Watch this.
They had raced like this for 6 laps. You can see they made contact getting in the corner. Compton into the outside wall there in the 86 truck. Ah, that's too bad. Great racing going on.
Let's take a look again. Watch this off into turn one. Bang, he just missed the area where that styrofoam stopped, too. Bounced right off the Armco. Watch it again now.
You know, there's a gap between these two trucks.
They didn't touch, buddy.
Well,
let's see here.
Yeah,
they do right there.
Right there.
They
just
do right
enough.
there.
Just enough.
Yeah, they did right there.
But that's hard racing, I guarantee you. Wow.
Well, Glenn, I dare say he's got a big old vibration right about now.
Yeah, in fact, he radioed in and told crew chief Kevin Cram, he said, guys, we're done. He said it did too much damage, so we're going to try to get a word with him just as soon as we possibly can. What a terrible break. Man, to lead 167 laps and then crash.
My goodness. So we are under caution. There is your new leader. Terry Cook wants to duplicate what Andy Houston did a week ago, and that is pick up the first win of his career. Still under caution here at Flemington. Terry Cook is the race leader. Stacy Compton done for the day. Glenn Jarrett is with him.
Stacy, you looked like you had an absolutely flawless truck. You had led every lap. I thought for certain I was going to talk to you in victory lane. We saw it. There may have been a little contact there.
Well, you know, I hate it for the Royal Crown Ford. I tell you, we had as good a truck as we had at Portland, and really wasn't racing that hard yet. I mean, we had 50 laps to go, and I guess it's just good hard racing. Man, I hate it for the Royal Crown crew. I tell you, they've been doing such a good job in the pits and on the trucks that we felt like we had with one here, but that's racing. We'll get them next time.
Well, any hard feelings right now from you toward Terry Cook?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I got to see it. I guess it's just good hard racing. It's I hate that it happened. You know, that's just the best way to put it until I see what happened, but I guess it's just good hard racing on a short track.
I tell you guys, that's as diplomatic as he could possibly be. He's going to wait till he sees the tape.
Well, he's always been a classy guy. Stacy Compton led the first 167 laps. Now Terry Cook's on top. Right now, time for our AutoZone Tech Fact. Brought to you by the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
This is the jack that George built. This is the jack that also will jack the truck that George is going to drive. George is George Brunholzer. He's in the 40 truck here this weekend. George Brunholzer built this jack that everybody in NASCAR uses. It's lightweight, 1 or 2 pumps, and the vehicle's off the ground. What I want to know is, George, what gave you the idea to build this jack?
This goes back about 18 years ago when I was driving my modified, and we built our first one just for my modified. And we went to Martinsville with it, and we were in a combination show with the Winston Cup cars, and everybody wanted to know where we could get one of those jacks. And I said, well, I just built it. And one thing led to another, and we just started making them.
I'll tell you what, he's built thousands of these things. I only have one question, though. If George built the Jack, then why did you name the Jack Jack, George?
That's my middle name.
That explains it.
And that's the facts, Jack, I guess we could say. Of course, unfortunately, the payoff to that story is that George Brunhosel failed to qualify the truck owned by Joe Ambrose, who they had put Brunhosel in. Mike Uinitsko drove it a week ago, but Uinitsko is in Riverhead, Long Island today to run the NASCAR Featherlight Modified Tour race. So they brought the veteran Brunhosel here. Unfortunately, they were not quick enough to qualify for the Stevens Beil Genuine Car Parts 200. But that man he was the pole sitter a year ago. Remember what happened a year ago? He grabbed the pole on his first lap of qualifying, then sandwiched himself into the wall on the second lap of qualifying. Well, today he was a very, very solid runner, started in the 4th position, and has not been out of the top 5 all afternoon, and now leads it.
Well, he better hope he gets a great restart, because he has the master of disaster right on his back bumper. As far as getting great restarts, Ron Hornaday running in 2nd place is one of the best.
There you see Brian Refner going by in 3rd spot. We're riding with him. We're going to listen in to the Ron Hornaday radio. And there's Mike Wallace in the 52. Don't count him out. He's up to 7th now. Started in the shotgun as a provisional starter today. Green flag.
Green flag.
Well, Cook got away from Hornaday. By the way, Mike Wallace, who's running in 7th, he has lost radio contact with Timmy Cahuth and his crew. So they're kind of going blind here today. There's Joe Rutman. The 99 truck is in 4th. And there's the full Napa rundown across the top of your screen. Napa Auto Parts. We keep America running and keep you updated on the scoring here today in Flemington, New Jersey. Final 25 laps of this event coming up. If you're a Randy Tolsma fan, he's making an unscheduled pit stop at lap number 175. He's on pit road and is going behind the wall. So Randy Tolsma joins Stacy Compton, Jack Sprague, and Wayne Anderson out of the race. Hard work, middle of the field. 52, the Pure One truck, Mike Wallace, and you see him dancing off the corner.
Boy, was he ever loose there as he goes by John Blewett there in the 06.
Boris Said with us in 19th spot now, a lap down. 75, Kevin Harvick, he is in 7th. Harvick finished 7th in New Hampshire a week ago. And interestingly, what a strange business sometimes. You're talking about Harvick. He had gone 7 races in a row without a top 10 finish, and now he's destined to 2 in as many weekends.
You know, we were just talking about the 52 there. Wallace, he's having a little bit of problems right now with Ron Barfield right on his tailgate as they come down the front straightaway. He's dropped off a little bit. I think he may have a loose condition in that truck, because you see him right there, Barfield all over him.
Randy Tolsma done. He is out of brakes. He is out of brakes. We are not. We have to take one right here. We'll be back to wrap it up from Flemington after this break on TNN Motorsports.
It's good to know that in an era of superstars, big corporate sponsorships, and network TV deals, there's an organization that also cares about fairness and sportsmanship, that realizes its fans are the sole reason for its success, and knows it should never go so fast that it can't slow down if there's a good enough reason. This is NASCAR, and this is the way we've done things for 50 years.
TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Stevens Beil Genuine Car Parts 200 is being brought to you by the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Don't forget, if you need to buy yourself a special gift or maybe a birthday on somebody's list that you have to take care of, remember NASCAR Thunder, the official and all-new store of NASCAR. Visit NASCAR Thunder. It's now open in cities all across the country. And for locations, just call that number you see on the screen, and they'll be giving you the details on the store nearest you. NASCAR Thunder, the official store of NASCAR. Terry Cook in the 88 truck continues to lead here at the Flemington Speedway on the fairgrounds in Flemington, New Jersey. There he is. Ron Hornaday runs in second. There he is, 1 second back. Brian Reffner is third. Joe Rutman fourth. Jimmy Hensley fifth. It'll be 10 laps to go next time by. It'll be some 5 miles remaining for Terry Cook, who in his 34th career start is trying to pick up his very first win on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Team owner Duke Thorson, Gary Showalter, the crew chief. They've had some good runs, but never quite this good. Does Hornaday have anything for him?
If he does, he better hurry up and show it. I tell you right now, Terry Cook is doing a great job. That bowling ball that you see there on the quarter panel of the truck is really in motion. I tell you what, he's doing a great job.
The PBA Tour began sponsoring him in the middle of last season. Cook won his first Bud Pole, as we said, here at Flemington. Had a couple of top 15 finishes last year and a couple already this year, but never better than 10. There's second spot, still 9/10 of a second back, and there's third place now. A good scramble. Reffner in the 66, Rutman in the 99. Then Jimmy Hensley in the 5. John Blewett in the 06 is running 6. Hensley's in 5th position. Blewett is 6th, Barfield 7th, Randy McDonald 8th, Kevin Harvick is 9th, and Mike Wallace now running in 10th. Here's a move around lap traffic. Harvick in the 75, trying to keep the 52 Mike Wallace at bay as Boris Said is right there.
I think Boris Said got hung up just a little bit. What a wild camera shot that was.
Boris Said, get out of my way. There it is again. And Mike Wallace will move on by Boris.
Harvick right there in the 52 of Mike Wallace has been racing like that for about 40 laps. No change whatsoever.
That's 11th spot. Sorry, buddy. That's 11th spot on your screen.
Yeah, Jay Sauter in the 3 there just outside. Bob Keselowski in the 29 goes right by Jay Sauter. But you see, he lost a lot of traction there. And there's about 4 or 5 trucks just behind there that can take these spots away from these guys.
You got to do anything you can to prevent that wheel spin here on this racetrack. That's what's just going to do you in.
You could hear he was all the way down the back straightaway before he really got back in the throttle full throttle.
That's 11th, 12th, and 13th. We're riding with Mike Bliss in 13th spot. Terry Cook is the man of the hour as we ride with Tony Roper. It'll be the white flag next time by for race leader Terry Cook. Working through traffic. Riding with Tony Raines. And the white flag is in the air. One more time around for Terry Cook as he works back off into the corner. There is Cook.
Smooth as ever. Right now, he's just kind of holding. He has enough lead on the second place of Hornaday that he's not messing with the lap traffic at all.
2 weeks in a row, a first-time winner on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, Terry Cook, the driver from Ohio, in his 34th career start, picks up a victory on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and gets the salute from Ron Hornaday. And look at that emotion. You did it. Yes, you did. You did it. Terry Cook who entered the series in 1996 and ran 3 races and ran 15 races last year. He's been in all of them here in 1998. And now he's heading to the Holy Land. He's going to victory lane in a major NASCAR Touring Series. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Well, Gary Showalter, congratulations. You helped Butch Miller to his first Truck Series win, Kenny Irwin, and now Terry Cook. Congratulations on an outstanding effort.
Well, thank you. It wasn't just me. It was just an effort by the whole team. We've had some bad luck, and we just don't want to give up. And Terry's a great driver. And I want to thank PBA, Chevrolet, Goodyear, Steelmaster Products, and Duke and Rhonda Thorson for giving us this opportunity, and especially my wife for giving me this time.
Well, congratulations. They hit a strike today, Eli.
They indeed did gash in a strike right there. They rolled a perfect game. Gary Showalter and the team winning the Plastic Coat Winning Finish Award. Plastic Coat is the official spray paint of NASCAR, and they are proud to sponsor the Winning Finish Award presented to Gary Showalter. Plastic Coat presents $1,000 to the crew chief of the highest finishing craftsman team participating in the Plastic Coat Award program. And at the end of the year, the crew chief with the best average finish will win $10,000. So again, congratulations to Gary Showalter and to that man, Terry Cook. He wins for the first time on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Glenn Jarrett, second week in a row. You're enjoying that kind of a celebration.
Absolutely, and it's pandemonium, and I got to teach this guy about how to throw stuff. You hit me with a bottle, man. Congratulations, man. You absolutely bowled him over.
Yes, we did. I'm not saying Flemington owed us one, but we came here last year, and boy, we had a fast truck, and I kind of let the crew down there qualifying. We got the pole, but I felt bad about it, and I came back here and knew we had a truck that could win the race. I can't thank Chevrolet trucks enough, Chevy trucks, Performance Technology engines, Duke Thorson. Come on in here, Duke. This is the owner of the team, making it all happen. I wish my wife and my daughter could be here, but this is great. This is great.
Well, congratulations again, Terry. Way to go, man. Duke, congratulations. You guys did an awesome job. Eli, these guys are happy.
They are, and deservedly so. Look at that smile. Terry Cook, another first-time winner on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Now our Mopar High Performer of the event. That selection goes today to Brian Refner. Brian came home with a solid third-place finish. Mopar, Chrysler Corporation Parts, and the Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep and Eagle dealers sell and install them. A super run for Brian Refner. We're with you here at the Flemington Speedway, and I'll tell you, these folks do love their truck. And again, a sold out here today, buddy. It was just a total packed house of 15,000 fans.
I'll tell you what, they're race fans, and they love their trucks here.
More from Flemington in a moment. Winnebago Industries is the official motorhome of TNN. Just stop by and see your local Winnebago or Itasca dealer and see the new models that are available. For more information on the Winnebago Motorsports team, why not give them a call toll-free at 1-800-643-4892, extension 2. Boy, next weekend is the biggest weekend in sprint car racing every year. It's the Amoco Knoxville Nationals from Knoxville, Iowa. The best of the Pennzoil World of Outlaws fighting it out in the Amoco Knoxville Shootout. That is Friday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, a part of Tribute Week on TNN. And then the highest paying event in all of sprint car racing, the Amoco Knoxville Nationals, the greatest show on dirt. Next Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Again, all part of Tribute Week here on TNN. And how about a tribute to a guy who just soldiers on and grabs the points and takes home second spot? That man, Ron Hornaday.
Well, his name ought to be nicknamed Big Money because you always seem to come home in it on the short tracks. Congratulations. Another great effort here at Flemington.
It was. I'll tell you what, the Napa Chevrolet ran awesome all day. Fred Gray's bought a brand new truck. We might have missed on spindles or something, but I'll tell you what, I'm proud of Terry Cook. And, you know, I didn't get an opportunity to never much chance of saying Action Collectibles #1 in diecast. They've been with us since we started. And Burger King and Goodyear Tires have been awesome. But Napa's #1 to me, Napa brakes. And I tell you what, to come home, I thought we were looking pretty bad the first half. they made an adjustment. We need a little bit more, but I'll tell you what, Terry Cook deserved that one. He's been racing hard, and I'm glad to see a Chevrolet win.
Well, the good news, he took over the points lead today, and earlier this week, he had Third Eye Blind staying at his house. He might have turned 40, but he looks like a kid. Eli?
He does indeed. He runs like a kid, does an awfully fine job. Ron Hornaday, there you see, he comes home in second spot. Solid run again for Hensley. And look what John Blewett ended up doing with Billy Pouch's truck once the day finally wrapped up.
Well, he ran very, very well. And, you know, they had two drivers in the truck, but I think both of them ran very, very well. And getting over an injury, people don't realize how much it takes stamina-wise to run these trucks in this circle that they have here. Very tough on the driver.
And there you see Jack Sprague 29th and the first out of the event. Wayne Anderson finishing 30th, completing just 8 laps today. Brian Reffner, super run. Career best finish for the man from Wisconsin, Glenn.
Absolutely. We're just talking, Brian, career best third place finish. Maybe, finally, you got things turned around in the right direction.
I sure hope so. You know, we qualified third and stayed there. We didn't fall back. So I'm pretty happy. It's a good finish for this team. It's a good momentum builder. And we can head into Nashville. We know we can run well there, and maybe that'll be our first win.
Okay, congratulations on a good effort today. I tell you guys, he was real strong last year at Nashville. He feels like that place might owe him one. We'll see next week.
All right, 1 week from today, we'll be on the air from Music City, USA, Nashville Speedway. Hope you can join us for that. We're coming back with a final thought or two from Flemington. Be right back. TNN Motorsports live coverage of the Stevens Beil Genuine Car Parts 200 has been brought to you by Mopar, Chrysler Corporation Parts, and the Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them. And by 104 Plus Octane Boost. Feel the power guarantee. Why not log on to NASCAR Online right now? They've got all the finishing numbers from today's race at Flemington, the preview stories about tomorrow's Bud at the Glen. Whatever you want to know about the world of NASCAR, it's available online 24 hours a day. NASCAR.com. That is NASCAR Online. Of course, this is just the middle portion of a big racing weekend in motorsports, and you won't miss any of the news when you tune in to race day tomorrow. All the highlights, the interviews, the results, the preview of Watkins Glen, and a whole lot more. Starts tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, race day, right here on TNN Motorsports. Well, how do the points look now in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series? We knew he'd take a hit. Jack Sprague did.
Boy, he did. And look at Joe Ruttman, only 27 points out of the lead on Ron Hornaday there. Winning this event 50 or more back.
Yeah, a lot of changes here today. The biggest change, though, Terry Cook, the 88 truck, goes to victory lane for the first time. Can he back it up next week? We'll find out next week. And remember, we'll be in Nashville next Saturday, 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central, with another stop on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. For Buddy Baker, for Glenn Jarrett, and for Matt Yoakum, I'm Eli Gold. Congratulations to that man, Terry Cook of Sandusky, Ohio, the new winner on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, as we bid you so long from New Jersey.